if AI takes my job in future, then I'll be very worried, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be thinking very straight. So I feel it makes sense for us, while we are very stable and while we are very calm, while we have that luxury, it is going to be of some merit to think about what happens if AI takes my job. What can I do, right? It's good to have some form of strategy and some form of clear thinking done before that day comes in. Now, obviously, we would pray that that day never comes for us, and we'll always try to pray and be prepared as well. But then, what if the worst thing happens, which is our job is taken, right? So, what are we going to do about it? I feel the way I'll think about it is, I don't expect AI to just one day come and take my job, right? I feel it is going to be a sequence of events before my job goes. So for example, I'll start listening about news where, Google has fired a bunch of people, Meta has fired a bunch of people, OpenAI has fired a bunch of people, and things like that, right? And the reason for that is AI. I'm anyway trying to prepare by learning whatever is possible about AI, integrating AI into my process, and all of that is happening. But when those news will come in, I'll be more serious about, okay, this is actually going to happen. Most likely AGI has come in, and most likely super intelligence or something like that has come in, and our jobs are in at stake. Anyway, I feel our jobs are always at stake at private companies. But when such an event happens, you know that you might be laid off the other day, right? So that is when I feel I will become a little more conscious and little more prepared about losing the job. Okay, so that would be my step one, which is mentally be ready to lose the job. Okay, so that whenever that happens, you don't get into super shock. Because usually what I've seen is, sometimes, at least the kind of person I am, whenever there is a shock, I don't think straight. So I need to make sure that I'm prepared for a shock like that, right? So that is step number one. Step number two is to understand, what are these people doing who got fired, right? Are they going to another job which AI has not taken? Is it same UI UX job which I am doing, or is it something else? Like, are they moving from UI UX to something else, like designing for VR or designing for something else? I don't know, right? Like a physical space design or anything like that. Are they doing that? What are people doing? So from there, I'll understand that, okay, these are the other different options that might exist. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is, what if I'll have to be forced to move to another city, or forced to move to my own hometown? Because when I'm afraid of losing my job, I'll obviously try to cut my expenses, right? And one of the bigger expenses is rent. So if I am staying at a rented house, then I'll probably try to reduce the rent by moving to a smaller house or something like that, or I'll try to move back to my home. So that is again another decision. Then there are multiple things to cut, right? For example, YouTube subscription maybe, or maybe Netflix subscription, and there are so many luxuries that we have, and I'll need to cut off those things. So if while cutting off, I am also cutting off my rent and the location I stay, and I'm coming back to my home, that means some of my leverages are going to shift. For example, if I were staying at Bangalore, then maybe some of my options would be, okay, I can go to a UX cohort, or I can go to a design university and teach there. But if I come to my hometown and stay there, probably those options are going to be lessened, right? But then the other opportunities are going to open up. I live in Puri in Odisha. So Puri is a tourist destination. So maybe I'll try to take a hotel on lease and run it. I don't know, like random stuff. But I can also, probably teach people in school, take tuitions or things like that, right? Or I could, I don't know. I mean, the opportunities are a lot. So basically, the idea here is, whatever I have and wherever I am, I'll try to see what are my leverages, what are the skills that I have, and I'll try to take advantage of those leverages, right? So that is the next strategy. The next thing also, what I'll try to do is understand, how long can I be with my core skills. For example, my core skill is UI UX. Now, if jobs are starting to, get lowered, then can I do freelancing? That's one thing that I'll see, so that I can extend the use of my skills, right? So I'll see if I can do freelancing. Again, while I'll do freelancing, I'll not think about like matching the same salary that I have, right? I know that the salary is going to be lower, right? Or at least the income that I'm getting might be lower. But again, but my experience so far with freelancing has been, whenever I have done freelancing, it has always been more than the salary that I'm earning. But anyway, that aside, the idea is to go with a conservative mindset, knowing that I may not get the best income, I may not get the best result, I may not get the best client, but all I'm doing here is not to grow but to survive. So it doesn't matter also to me, right? So that would be one idea, to extend the use of my skills. So can I do it in freelancing? Can I do it in education line and things like that, right? Obviously, I'll also try to monetize my content and all of that. So that is also something that is going on. In fact, one of my backup plan, if the if the UI UX line does not work out, is also seeing an opportunity in content space if that is going to work out. But if AI takes UI UX job, might as well affect content creation job as well. At least the money in the content creation job might get affected by it as well. But then that's the game, right? When I said that I can also do hotel management and all of that, it's not like I have the skill to do it. I have a few skills, but then there will be certain skill gaps that I need to fill in, right? So there are two mindset that I want to bring in when I'm like sure that my job is going to be lost. One would be survival mindset. It is like, I don't care whether it's a creative job or not. I just need to, make money with a respectable job, whatever it is, right? I'll not treat hotel management as a smaller job at that point of time. I feel at that point of time, whatever pays me, I'm just going to do that if that is respectable and if that is going to work for my family. Because when I'm talking about cutting expenses, it is not one person's decision, it has to be a family decision, right? When I'm changing job, it also to an extent is a family decision, right? There is some approval from family that needs to come in. So, or at least some alignment, some agreement that needs to happen between families when they know that, okay, this job is not stable and he needs to find something else to do, right? So that needs to be thought through as well. Another mindset, I was talking about different mindset. One mindset is never think that any other job is smaller job. I think we keep on saying it in our culture in India, but the shit is going to be real when AI actually starts taking jobs, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is, I'm not going to be afraid of learning new thing, like completely new thing. Right now, what is happening is, what I'm learning is on the base of the fact that I have education in design, I have education in engineering, I'm doing digital product design and so on, right? So that is the base on which certain other skills are getting formulated. For example, let's say presentation design, business knowledge, analytics knowledge, communication, all of this is on that particular flat surface. But when I'm talking about a thing like hotel management, it's a completely different ball game altogether, right? The skills that would be required could be very, very different. For example, how do I talk to auto walas? How do I get the contacts of auto walas so that they are going to bring in tourists from wherever they collect to my hotel, right? That's a completely different conversation. That's a completely different skill altogether that I need to have, right? Or a different network that I need to build. So I'm at least not at this point afraid of learning new skill, which is completely different from what I've learned so far, which is something that I know a lot of people don't do, right? And when I'm talking about a lot of people, I feel one thing that I want to do, and that should be able to help me for most of my life, is try to be at the top 1% or top 5% of human beings, right? It doesn't matter what skill, by the way. All I want to do is, whatever benefit of education I have, whatever benefit of job and experience I have, I want to take that, plus with that my work ethic and my mindset to work hard no matter what, right? I want to combine that and use all of that, the so called, a lot of the things you will call it as privilege. So I would like to use all of that privilege to be among the top 5% of human beings and be paid as top 5% of the human beings, right? Doesn't matter what field, right? All I would want at that point is how do I beat the other 95% of human beings, right? So what are they doing wrong? A lot of people could probably not be using the existing skill that they have and try to build the ladder on top of it. I think a lot of people would not be doing that. I'll try to do that. A lot of people will be distressed, lonely and whatnot, right? I'll see how can I avoid such situations, right? I'll try my max. So that will be there. A lot of people will not be cutting expenses. I'll be open to cutting expenses. A lot of people will not be open to doing other jobs which they feel are menial jobs. I should be able to open to do that, right? Also, some form of financial planning is something that I'll try to do, which is understanding what is my runway. For example, if I'm earning 1 lakh today, am I going to be happy with 20,000 to start with for my next life? My next life is basically when this entire UI UX everything is just gone, for example, right? So that's one strategy, which is understanding what is my runway, and can I use that runway to actually step up my salary. So maybe I'll start with 20,000, but I'll keep looking at other opportunities so that it can go to 30,000, 40,000, and so on, right? Which is where actually content creation really helps me do this. That's why I keep telling people that invest in your personal branding, because this might one day just help you have a second stream of income. And diverse income streams are always going to be helpful, no matter whether AI is taking your job or not taking your job. It is just in general helpful for your freedom. Okay, so yeah, I mean, those are few concepts I thought I'll just talk about it, because a lot of people are not thinking through certain things right now, and I'm pretty sure they won't be able to think through when a emergency situation actually arise, because at that time your amygdala will be activated, your fear and flight and all of those reactions will be taking place in your head, and you won't be thinking straight. And a lot of your advisor around you will not be thinking straight as well, because for them also it is a new situation, right? So I feel from this point onwards we should try thinking something in this direction. So obviously when that day arise, that doomsday, that judgment day, whatever you want to call it, when that day comes, obviously you will never be as calm as this, but at least because you have thought through certain things, you will be in a much better place than 95% of people. So that is why I'm making this video, so that I can actually, again, usually I script my videos. This video is not scripted, mainly because I wanted to dump all of my ideas that is coming out of my brain right away, right? This will also have very less edits most likely in this video. So I just wanted to dump all of my thoughts right now around this, which is what happens if AI takes my job. Most likely it will not take our job, but who knows, what if, right? All right, so if you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe, and there will be many other interesting topics that I'll be talking about. So please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and help the algorithm boost this video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.